So how lucky are we to have folks like Kyle and Brian show up in our lives to write books about rethinking everything? And this edition just happens to be about rethinking everything you know about being a next generation loan officer. So I'm thankful that Kyle reached out, the relationship and the friendship that we've built, and said, hey, would you mind writing the chapter, which happens to be a few pages, so I hope you're enjoying it, about a real estate agent and broker's perspective on the next generation loan officer. And first I said, why me? Did everybody else say no? And he said, hey man, I think you're just going to tell it from an honest, true standpoint and not hold back. So hopefully the not holding back hits and helps you reach out and connect to realtors and brokers in your marketplace and around the rest of the country. So what do unicorns and relationships and approaching being a loan officer at an elite level have in common? Hopefully you're gaining something from this chapter, and it connects, and you find something inspiring that you can truly take out in the marketplace and be a difference maker. And so when I came up with this idea of a unicorn, we all think we're one. On my best days, I think I'm one. And so what is a unicorn? It's unique. It's the most unique of horses, right? Have we ever seen one? We've read books about them. Have we seen them? Probably not. But if you have, maybe put a comment down below. But this idea of a unicorn is they're beautiful. They possess attributes that other horses don't have. They're magical. They're mystical. We hold them in such high esteem of all horses. And since my original foundation of real estate was in Northern Kentucky and Cincinnati, of course the horse analogy matters. But with unicorns, see, we all think we are one. And I think we should wake up every day and be empowered to believe that we're capable of working at an elite level, to being an amazing loan officer, an amazing realtor and broker. And even if we don't live up to it every day, we're capable. We have the possible characteristics. We have the ability inside of us to realize what that is. And so we all think we're a unicorn. And so when we think we're a unicorn, then we need to act like one. And so I see in the marketplace every day, being a real estate agent and then a broker going on 20 years now and operating a company with around 200 agents, that loan officers are always looking and prospecting realtors for leads. Okay, great. We're a great lead source. Realtors are always looking for leads for buyers and sellers. So as a loan officer, you're like, let me go straight to Middle Earth of realtors. They have buyers and they could refer us. And so what happens so often is, hey, would you like to go to lunch? Hey, can we go have coffee? All that is framed in the idea of, hey, maybe I can convince this agent to send me a lead. Here's what we don't need. We don't need free $15 and $20 lunches. We don't need free car washes. We don't need free cups of coffee to Starbucks or what's our favorite chai. Here's what we need. We need elite level, unicorn level loan officers that truly care about a few things I'm going to hit later on, 5 key things that I speak to. And so I don't want the free things. Let's all perform at an elite high level to make sure that you do an amazing job landing the right financing, being the problem solver to put people in the right loan, to truly care about taking care of that consumer and that client at an elite high level so that we both can have great careers, make an elite level income, and have a referral source that's never ending. And so here's what we don't need. You don't need sales pitches. We don't need sales pitches. Let's just get together and create relationships and then go all in truly caring about clients and their best outcome. So when we're holding all those keys at closings and it says just closed and sold mine, just landed a loan for these people, that we truly know we made a difference in those people's lives. And so we have real estate agents. So if you want a real estate agent, you want a unicorn, then you got to be a unicorn. So what happens so often is realtors will get in the business and they want to go for these elite high-level luxury homes. And it's like, are you the person that connect with a high luxury, high net worth buyer or seller? Can you speak on that level? Can you perform at that level? Can you engage at a luxury level? So here's what loan officers have to make sure that they do. If you're going for the unicorn agents who can send you 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, or 50 referrals per year or more, you got to be a unicorn LO. And so what's a unicorn loan officer? Here's what it is. When you have that agent that's working 7 days a week, that's hustling and grinding, and finding buyers on late nights and going out and holding open houses on weekends, and they have a limitless approach to the effort that it takes, make sure you equal that effort. I'm not saying you have to work 24/7, but you better be willing to show up in a time perspective, from a commitment to place everything truly at the top tier responsibility and important factor that the unicorn agent does. So you got to make sure you need to pick up that book, and maybe the next Rethink book, rethink about how unicorns are unicorns. So number one, you got to be a unicorn. You want unicorn agents in your business, you got to be a unicorn. Number two, you have to be limitless in the way that you think. You have to be available at the same level that realtors are available to their clients. You got to be willing to go all in at the same level that these top tier agents are. How do you think they get to take $20,000 and $30,000, $40,000 vacations around the world? How do you think everybody's driving their G-Wagons? Why do they have their $40,000 watches on? That shouldn't place the value that we have on human beings as realtors and loan officers, but those are indications of not just sitting back in a chair and waiting for a phone to ring, not just waiting for the next lead to come through your CRM, not waiting for the next email to come through. You got to make sure you go out here and you have a limitless approach, and you're side by side with your realtor partners, with consumers, going all in, no matter what it takes, any day, any night, throughout the entire year. And three, you got to be unique. Why even be in business if we're the same? Why start a business? Why be an entrepreneur? Why be an intrapreneur, the new term? Why do anything if we're just going to do the same thing that someone else has done? That's an employee mindset. You got to be unique. What's unique? You got to do things different. So all of a sudden when you walk in a room, the way you dress, the way you carry yourself, the way that you speak, the way that you carry a confidence but not an arrogance. And so when you walk in the room, when you get on the phone, when you send that email, people walk away saying, wow, that person's unique. I think they're going to do something different for me. They're going to commit at another level that most loan officers haven't. 4, you got to be a partner, not just a service provider. You have to give top-level service. You have to communicate at a high level. You have to problem solve with the best of loan officers out there. You can't just say, well, they didn't have the right credit for this program, so it looks like call me back in 6 months. No, go all in with that buyer. If that person's in a spot where they're going to have to clean up their credit, if they're going to have to do some strategy with paying off some debt, if they're going to have to relook at their budgets on a monthly basis and get some expenses and incomes in line. How about you create a relationship with people and make a difference in their life? Be a true partner to a realtor to solve problems for consumers' lives. If you do that, you don't need to give a realtor anything. You don't need to give us anything of monetary value. We can do that ourselves when we all buy and sell homes, when you provide the financing. So what do you have to do? Top-level customer service. Communicate at the highest level. When things are going bad, when the interest rate spikes and you forgot to lock them in, when you thought that a buyer was going to fit into a program but they're not going to now, pick up the phone in those problem moments and confront the problem. Get out on the tip of the spear, because what I've found is we all just look average when things are easy. When problems arise, when you're someone that steps up to the level to solve it and truly unlock something that an agent didn't think was going to be unlocked for a buyer, when you solve that buyer's problem, when they go to bed at night with all those hopes and dreams of buying a home, and they wake up the next morning to a disappointing email that they're not going to be able to buy, that there's an issue with the contract, that affects their lives. It affects their emotions, how they feel, how they carry themselves, how they treat other people, how they're inspired on a normal day. Be a high-level communicator and problem solve with the best of folks in the world. And number 5, be the loan officer that you would want when you buy. Be the loan officer that you would want to be on the financing of your mom's purchase. Be the loan officer that you want serving your best friend. And if you truly think about what level of service and commitment and ability and limitless all-in approach would I want out of an LO to communicate, to put me in the best loan product, to truly make me feel like I'm valued like anybody else. Not that they're processing 20 or 30 loans and I'm in a queue, but that when I call and I email and I reach out and I communicate and I need something, to be there to coach, to be there to counsel. Who would you want the loan officer to be? And it's very simple. For you to rethink everything about it being a loan officer, about what's it going to take to be the next generation LO, just be the loan officer every moment, every transaction, every buyer, for every transaction you're on with a realtor, be the loan officer that you would want processing a loan for you.